snacks.
What it do, snackers, snackettes, and snack X's? It's your boy Gage. I'm here with Jokes and with Sin, and you are now tuned in to Loading Snacks Weekly, where we get together once a week and we talk about all of the things happening in pop culture. And today,
Today
we're going to talk about our personal favorite things from 2023. So I'll be ready for that. We're gonna be running through a list of things that just were the things that meant the most to us personally. Treating that a little bit differently than we might normally, and instead of trying to come up with like a collective, this is the Loading Snacks best of. This is just like our individual favorite things, which I think is important, but we'll get to that later. We're gonna talk a little bit about
works.
Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. What up, Doctor Who? Or should I say hola? We're going to talk about this Mandolorian movie that's upcoming. We're going to talk a bit about Xbox exclusivity. There's some things happening there. So there's a lot on the docket. So we're going to jump right to it. First, though, Jokes, you have a job to do. Jokes is going to get our beacons link up for everybody. Easiest way to follow us, figure out what we're doing, and there is a lot that we are doing. So please take a look at our beacons link. Follow us across the board everywhere we are. We do again officially have a Threads account now. So if you're following us on IG and you're not following us on Threads, please do that. We are what up, G? We're looking at getting much more active in Threads. So that we can do that. You are right.
Yes,
Echo starts and finishes.
Yeah.
Echo is dropping in at 9:00 and all the episodes.
All the episodes.
Guess who's not going to sleep tonight? Or maybe I am. We'll see. We're gonna talk about that.
Do we
know
too. what the average episode time are? If they're like,
no.
Okay.
I don't know. I know you said you was going to bed when we finish this show. So don't worry about it. We can look at it tomorrow.
I just want to know, just for.
Well, hey, at 9:00 we can just pull it up and take a look and see the time frame, see what the first one gives us.
Sin, you got a job to do.
Yeah, so let's shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dortch, Tyrone Carson, Meticulous Skin, Alex Lee, Ellis Mbe, and Kermit Ferguson. Thank you very, very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
Facts on. Hey. Here are our top tier patrons.
What up, birthday boy?
Oh, somebody got a birthday?
Oh, it's your birthday. What up, birthday boy? Happy birthday, Ty. Welcome to the show on time. Heather, how are you? Yeah, listen. Those top tier patrons are just that. You should check us out on Patreon. Again, helps keep the building up. You know what I'm saying? Helps keep all the lights on. It's a busy year this year, and these cons. Let me just give y'all a little inside baseball, if I may. So for years, like when we first started doing this, we were like, all right, what conventions we going to and shooting in, and all right, we gotta buy our tickets and make sure whatever and going, whatever, right? And then, we be. All right, well, let's send in a press application, do this. We doing interviews and shooting. Let's send a press application, see what happens, blah, 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 right? You get a few of them you turn down or whatever. And look, shooting stuff like that and trying to get press badges or whatever is like asking a girl for a number. You know what I mean? You just, you do it, you learn to hear no. Yeah, you learn to hear no, you put yourself out there and you move on to the next joint, right? But then we came up with this whole like, all right, you know what though? If we do panels, most of these places will give you badges, you know what I'm saying, for the whole thing. So like, all right, you know what? Let's start putting in for panels. Doing panels. And then people started giving us press. We get press. So let me not make it sound like we
Knock
do.
on wood, not jinx it.
I'm just saying a lot of the conventions and shows that we go to, we shoot interviews with people, we do have press or we do have panels. However, some of these conventions have like changed hands. Some have been sold to other companies or bigger whatever, and that changes. It kind of you get yourself to a place where like, well, we go every year, we do press every year. They basically just let us in every year, right?
Mm-hmm.
They like to do whatever. That changes hands, and it's like having your boss get fired and then bringing somebody else in new, and you basically starting from scratch. Like they don't know what you do, what you know, what you can do, or whatever. Like you just kind of on even footing with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that.
That being comfortable being a geek. I really do appreciate that. So like sometimes we put in for press, we don't get it. Sometimes we put in for panels, we don't get it. We put in for both. Sometimes we get one, sometimes we get the other, sometimes we get both, sometimes we get none. So sometimes we gotta pay. You know what I mean? We just gotta be like, all right, well, we still gonna go. Now I will say there have been times when they didn't give us, and I've been like, we ain't going. You know, you get a little, hey, hold on, we're not. But
what's good?
So like,
it's good, Drew.
You know, a lot of things changes. Some of that stuff changes hands, or maybe they put somebody new in charge of panels who hasn't done it before. Just any of those things, right? A lot of times, you will not hear back from a convention until like maybe 3 weeks or 2 weeks before the convention is happening. And what that does is, like MagFest next week, where like if you bought tickets for MagFest when they first released them back in like September, to get in was like $120 for 4 days, which isn't terrible to be honest. Because I'm gonna tell you something, MagFest worth every penny. But and MagFest, unlike honestly every other convention we do, MagFest is a 501c. So they don't do press, and we know that. They don't do press at all because they need people to pay for tickets so they can make money. That's how they make money, right? As a nonprofit. So I don't have a problem with that. We do panels. We've done panels in MagFest before. It's been cool. Sometimes though, like Baltimore Comic-Con gives us a panel. Stop it. Like talking to a woman. I mean, listen. Take your L's with the best of. You know, Baltimore, if we get press, we're fine. If we get a panel, they will do things like, well, you only get a badge for the day of your panel, and that's it. Or like, but we're gonna be there the whole time, so we still gotta buy badges for the whole week, even though they're giving us badges for the one day, because it's more expensive to buy the badge for 2 days than it is to buy the badge for 3 days.
Buy the badge for 3.
It's just stuff like that, right? So like there are times when, like next week, when we're like, all right, we're going to MagFest all 5 days, all 4 days, cool. Them tickets like $155.
$155
now, because it's like, well, we might as well wait and see if they give us a panel. Because they give us a panel, then we'll have badges. Well, they wait until the price has gone up before they tell you whether you're getting a panel. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, again, there are times when, you know, that kind of stuff is important and it could really come in handy. So, look, whether you support us on Patreon at the lowest tier or the highest tier, it's all appreciated. It's all helpful. And if you don't want to do that, or you don't want to do something monthly or whatever, there's all, like, you can go to our merch store, right? Buy a shirt, do something like that, like stuff like that is helpful to us too. A lot of times when we sell shirts, most of the shirts we sell are the ones that we're selling for charity, and we don't take any of that. So, you know what I mean? So like that doesn't really come to us, which is cool. I'm just saying that, like, you know, it is very helpful. We do really appreciate it. So thank you for that. We're working on pushing some new stuff. I have some ideas. We're working on getting some new stuff going for this year. There's also some major news that could be happening, but it'll probably be a couple months before I can tell y'all that. So, having said that, Sin, earlier today,
howdy.
I'm good. Sin got a headache.
I'm good over here.
Jokes is good. So everybody's fine. Because headaches are normal for Sin.
Like, unfortunately, yes.
He's adapted.
Yeah. You earlier mentioned to me the release date for Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League? Did you not?
Yes, I did. Yes, February 2nd.
So today, several major publications, video game publications, put out their previews for it, and nobody liked it. Nobody.
I saw that 15 minutes ago.
So we're gonna have a little talk. Because here's the thing. IGN specifically said that after the fun story part is over, that the open world is kind of filled with like tedious tasks.
Okay.
And it's a much less inspired combat system, right? And GameSpot's joint kind of said the same thing. Like, just their tagline says, after playing about 5 hours of Suicide Squad during a hands-on preview session, we came away feeling that Rocksteady's third-person shooter live game has cool ideas that sometimes work against each other. And like, if you read through it, again, listen, they only got to play like 5 hours. They only got portions of it, you know. So they are saying the cutscenes, brilliant. The interaction between the squad, brilliant. It feels kind of cliche because they're like, nah, like the Justice League is under Brainiac's control and they are killing people. And it does seem like you are going to have to kill them, which basically they're like, there's got to be some kind of a time mechanic or otherworld thing or whatever that's happening, because it seems like they have to like undo it. And I'm like, well, maybe not, because they're talking about giving these consistent free updates where you're supposed to get all these other characters and be able to play with all these other people or whatever.
Oh.
Here are my concerns. We did this once already.
Avengers.
With
I
Avengers.
was about to say, yeah.
And it's sounding
just
like a lot like it.
Even when you mentioned earlier, like how, like after you beat the story, like there's nothing left, there's no stuff to do here and there. It started the exact same way in Avengers, and over time,
I mean,
added
again,
stuff.
They haven't beaten the game. They haven't beaten the story. They just played what they played, right? But I guess as you complete this story mission, now you're just kind of like, basically they were saying like, you know, literally like in the article, it's like, stop me if you heard this before, but go to a point and defend the point while waves of enemies come at you. And then when you're done, go do a thing, get something, and then turn it back into someone somewhere. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, it just feels very kind of cliche, kind of whatever. Here's what I'm going to say. Jokes, don't listen to this part. Since we play these games together, games that really other people tend not to find fun, we tend to just be like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. This one isn't fun.
Nothing you say has deterred me yet.
You know why?
I know how we get down.
Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights.
And we had a blast with it.
That game is mediocre at best.
Absolutely.
Cutscenes are cool. Story's okay. Hey, bro, we was playing that. Like, that game was old when we was playing it. We played that thing through the summer like no big deal. Always overthinking rearranging that. No, he's not. He ain't think about that. He's sick over it, maybe.
I'm not thinking about it at this current moment. How about that? I'm locked in. I'm focused on the show.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm concerned because the other thing about it is right now. Well, yeah, sure. Game Pass is definitely a threat. Like, put on Game Pass. However, one of my concerns is that this is WB. I know a lot of people trust Rocksteady. I don't have the kind of faith in Rocksteady that other people have. And that's because Rocksteady they have one game. Mind you, it's 3 games, but they have one game. It's one game. It's Batman again. And then again. That's it. They did Batman. They did it really well. People like the story. People like the mechanics or whatever. And then they did it again, but they made the world a little bigger and they improved the mechanics. And then they did it again and they made the world a little bigger and they improve the mechanics. And when they try to go outside of what they were already good at, add in the Batmobile, garbage, terrible, right? Worst part of the game, people hated it, right? So now you have a team at Rocksteady that is trying to do something different. And while I have a high appreciation for that, what up, KB? I have a high appreciation for that. Let's do something different. Let's try something team-based. Let's try something co-op. But it also feels to me like as a studio, they might be being forced into trying something that is live service. And what I am waiting for is there's all these outfits or gun skins or whatever that you can buy to make us money to keep this running. Because if this game is not as successful as they want it to be, then it doesn't matter that they're offering free content with free characters down the line if the game won't exist anymore because they cut off the servers, which we're talking about WB, who's literally just like, oh yeah, we shot a whole Batgirl movie, throw it in the trash.
Shell that jump. Just shell that jump.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have any faith in that. So if I'm going to partake and spend the money to buy the game, I do need to feel like it is going to be worth the purchase for what is there at its base. I can't be like, I have to get beyond the ad speak of we're adding all this stuff and we're going to have all this stuff in the future and it's all free. Because one, I don't believe you. And two, you might not be able to. Says who? That's just how the industry has been laying off people left, right, up, and down. It ain't just been left and right. It's left, right, up, and down. I think the game industry totaled out at the end of 2023 at like 10,000 layoffs. 10,000 people laid off, and that's not including like the I think it was like almost 10,000 people that Microsoft laid off by themselves at the beginning of the year. But that was more Microsoft as a whole than it was just like gaming stuff. So I don't really trust it. Jokes, are you gonna play it?
I feel like I'm gonna play it. My fear is just kind of like what you're saying. Like, if after we beat it, it starts getting super repetitious.
Whoa.
What you mean we?
Thank you, Sin.
Oh my god. hey, Sin, screw you.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I ain't never seen Jokes roll his eyes before.
Sorry, it was just facts.
Yo,
but we'll see, because like unlike you guys enjoy Gotham Knights, like I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I was playing it myself, but I didn't like the mechanic. Like, listen, when we got in for the small time and we were playing it and we were biting people, it was cool, but I didn't like it.
I understand that. All right, so let's run it back. I played it. I was like, it's all right. Sin played it. Was like, it's all right. Like, we bought it pretty much off the early. Like, we bought it. It came out like 2 years ago. We bought it pretty early. Like, I'm not going to pretend I bought it when it came out. But it was like after that, it was on sale. You know what I mean? Or whatever. And it's like, it's on sale. Might as well, you know what I'm saying, give it a go. Like, I know me and Sin will jump in here and we'll have a good time with it. Like, we'll just play and it'll be us and, you know, whatever. The downside of that joint was that it was only 2 players for the story. But they had a 4-player mode. You just had to get far enough in the story to unlock it. By the time you got in, we were way overpowered for where you were.
Yeah.
But we, you know, and listen, I said this in like 2 weeks ago. I was like, Gotham Knights, sitting there, we could do it. And he was like, nope. We done with that joint. It's over.
Once you beat the game, like, nah, bro, you go back on the shelf. You're done.
That was it. And it, like, you know, and again, you tried it, Jokes, but you got it in Game Pass. You didn't pay for it. I paid for it, and honestly, I'm not mad.
Got your money out of it.
I'm not mad. We
had a
put
blast.
hours into that. Like, we put work into it. Like, it was cool. I had a good time.
I just took the beauty of Game Pass, played it a little bit. You know what? I didn't like it. And uninstalled it.
You didn't like it because you don't have friends to play with.
Hey, listen. not saying like, listen, when we do play together, we have fun with whatever.
Let me sip my tea.
Please, sir.
Hey, listen.
What?
The one thing when we wanted to play, y'all, it was Destiny, and y'all didn't Gage for the most part didn't want to touch Destiny. Sam, we did get in for a little bit, but y'all don't have the patience to do like the raid and stuff. Like
Hold on. Don't do that. Don't do that.
What?
Don't do that. Right. Don't do that. Do not do that, bro. Let me tell you something. I put over 100 hours. Like I put hours on hours into Destiny.
Destiny 1?
Hours into Destiny. And here's what I'm gonna tell you. Even having done that, one, they don't change enough for me personally to keep going back. Two, it feels great to play Destiny. Destiny has some of the best mechanics, period. Like in a shooter, period. Bungie does that. Not an issue. But there are things they don't do right. And and for me, as a casual, like I can't. Like it doesn't make sense. So Cuddy says, Joe says the point. We have played many so-so games and ended up being good because of the squad. Exo Primal, facts. Rainbow Six Extractions, which I don't even think is so-so. I think that joint is actually pretty good.
Extractions is
decent. For that. Left 4 Dead, also not so-so. Don't do that, Cuddy. Also not so-so. But again, if it's already good and you run together, it is better. If you play as a squad, it is better. But also just, again, even if a game is not clearly... Sin and I have played all of the Army of Two games.
So it's fire.
All of them joints. And they are...
You
kidding me, bro? I'm in the computer designing masks and uploading. Like, it's back in the day. You got like that joint. But I guess, like, my point is, look, I know that if I do it and Sin does it and Cuddy does it, we will play that joint.
Oh, we'll body that joint.
Now, here's the thing. Me and Sin will bounce off of that joint way faster than Cuddy will. We just play a lot of different stuff and we play a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? So we bounce around a lot. So we'll bounce off, you know what I'm saying, faster than Cuddy will. And that's just, it is what it is. I'm planning to play Baldur's Gate 3 all year.
What?
All year. We all got multiple campaigns started already. It's sick.
Locked in, yeah.
And barely left the beginning of the game. Like, it just is.
Barely. We are still in the beginning.
So, like, I'm not saying, again, it can be done. We can do it. This game, though, I am really... My biggest issue with the previews currently is that nobody has played co-op. And I just need to know how it works, what it feels like, and whether or not it seems like it makes sense. I know you can do different builds and all that kind of stuff. And that might make the difference, right? It could just be that, like, what they got to play, like, what they got hands on, they were basically given, here's a character, play it. And if they didn't like the way it's built, or it's not, you know what I mean? Okay, where, like, they were like, when they showed them footage later on, they had, like, a King Shark that was, like, built out. And he seemed like he could move a lot faster and he could do a lot more. And whoever was playing, this was not him playing. So, like, the different builds, even of the same character, could be very different and could add in that replay value. Absolutely. And you know what I mean? And really could. So, like,
when we first started, once we started getting them leveled up and all that kind of stuff, getting those double jumps and all that type of stuff to maneuver around the city and everything, makes a huge difference.
I mean, look, there are things that I just feel like in a game, like, there's some things I'm just like, no, don't make that a thing you have to open. Like, gliding across the city.
Or at least do it in the tutorial of the game. Like, don't make it takes so far. You got to do all this stuff just to get it. Like, just...
Yeah, bro, you're going to tell me that Batgirl does not know how to glide? Like, she can't open her cape and glide? You got to earn that? All right, go to hell. That's how I feel about that. But...
That was, just...
That notwithstanding, I didn't use her, and I'm cool with that. Like, I was like, you know what I'm not doing?
She had the worst joint to get around the city, but outside of that, I like playing with her. Yeah. But I was always the last one to the crime scene.
Facts. Rode the motorcycle. Again, they give you this ability to traverse the city, but they also give you a bat cycle in the very beginning of the game.
Mhm.
You don't need the bat cycle. Like, once you get the traversal, which
Unless you
happens
Batgirl.
relatively early, even though you don't need, I never use it. And they got all these different colors that you can open up for it. I'm not doing bat cycle trials to open a color. And then I'm never gonna use the bat. Like, that's just dumb. I'm not doing it. So that's stuff they didn't think through that doesn't make sense. And I can certainly see some of that happening in this game too. But
Right back.
we'll see.
Headache medicine.
We'll see. All right, we'll take care of that. Jokes.
Yo.
While someone goes to take some medicine for his headache, let's talk about how we already knew there was a Mandalorian movie coming, but today they decided to officially announce, like, hey, Mandalorian movie is coming. Jon Favreau is directing.
Yep.
Filming starts this year. What are your expectations for a Mandalorian movie? Why are we doing a Mandalorian movie instead of doing another season?
Just a typical season. Like, obviously, I'm finding this to be like a shorter adventure or something. Like, obviously, I think they said it is going to take place after season 3. Right. So it'll be, I can't say season 4 because they still say season 4 is coming. But obviously, it's got to be like a short story or something. Just, it's going to kick off season 4, like kind of like we're going to start things in the movie, and then when season 4 comes around, it's just going to kind of continue and go from there.
Right,
I feel like it should be.
Does Mando die?
No.
All right. I feel like Mandalorian season 4 ain't gonna be about Din Djarin at all. I feel like they want to pick up where Rebels was, and they want to go from there. And I don't think it has anything to do with them. That's the only reason to me why it feels like you go that route. So yeah, so the movie itself is Din Djarin and Grogu. It is them two. The image that they released today is like the two of them flying away from like an exploding ship in space. And Grogu don't have no mask. I guess he can breathe in space. Whatever. He's got the Force. So like you can do anything you want. But I mean, look, I could see it being about them really exploring Grogu's abilities in some manner. Because they are their own clan. It's just the two of them.
You're right. Yeah.
So unless they are finding someone else to add to their clan or something like that. So Cuddy says the way last season ended, Mando and Grogu aren't needed for the next Mandalorian season. Correct. They're not. That's what I'm saying. So like the Mandalorian as a title, we have always associated with that guy. He is the Mandalorian.
Yeah. But the way the story has evolved, it's about just the Mandalorians now at like kind of at this point.
Right. Grogu was also Baby Yoda for the entire first season.
Yeah.
Like Slim just didn't have a name. Like it just, you know what I mean? So it now the Mandalorian is the people that are the Mandalorian, I feel like. KB said, I ain't even peeped that. It's a money grab. Disney just trying to make people pay the $20 premium on Disney Plus instead of just giving us a season. I mean,
this don't go to the theater. I cannot imagine that this show is. It's going to go right to Disney Plus.
I'm going to Digital to see it.
It's gonna go to Disney Plus, obviously.
Eventually,
but like,
right?
Yeah.
It's gonna go to the theater, and look, I think Jon Favreau was the right person to put.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? At the helm, directing it. I don't know who's writing it because they also made a point of saying that Dave Filoni is currently working on season 2 of Ahsoka, which means that he's not writing another season of Mandalorian right now. Meaning to me that if Ahsoka season 2 is the next focus, if the movie is for Mandalorian is coming, Ahsoka season 2 is the next focus for him, then either somebody else has to be helming the next part of that, or that's not coming until after those things are done. Because they're working on those things. So here's what I want to know, Sin. What do you want to see in a Mandalorian movie? First of all, what are they going to call the movie?
Oh gosh.
The
I
Grogu.
don't know. Something having to deal with something signature to them. I don't know if it's their tribe's name, like whatever they're going by now, or something like that. But
Mhm.
it's,
That's why I'm gonna
I
something
would like
simple.
to see.
yeah.
Mandalorian, the way.
I would like to see them find the species and planet that
Of
is
Yoda,
Grogu.
Grogu. Well,
Dog.
Yoda, yeah.
That in itself, if that became the movie, honestly, will probably become one of the best stories that they could potentially come out here for it, because
And one
that's
of the
going to
biggest.
answer and give us a lot of answers from stuff
I
in
would
the
say, yeah, one
past.
of the biggest mysteries. Yeah, finally
Hmm.
told. That could be dope.
I feel like that's what I would want to see. Right? Just in terms of Mando and his story, I don't really feel like I need any additional information about him and his upbringing and
Uh-huh.
his story or whatever. I feel like the question mark is Grogu. And
Hmm.
so what are the father and son team, so to speak, doing? Right? Like what is the direction that they're going? Um and to me, you can't ignore Grogu's abilities,
Uh-huh.
right? Like there's very, very little of that in the last season of The Mandalorian.
Hmm.
Yeah, the movies
Um,
got to put more focus on that in the movie.
because it was about Bo for real,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And so if you're if you're interested in continuing that storyline, then to me, if you're doing Ahsoka season 2, which is again pushing Rebels forward, that also means that you're following that, and that is where so maybe they align Ahsoka season 2 and what Mando is. Maybe they don't do another Mandalorian season. Maybe Ahsoka is really where that's picking up. Totally could be.
Okay.
But I'll be interested to see. We're not gonna see the movie till next year or 2 years
Yeah,
from
the
now.
earliest.
Yeah.
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 We'll see what happens with that. All right, before we get into our favorite things from last year, the internet was ablaze because the rumors have started swelling that Xbox exclusives are like not gonna be a thing anymore. So let's dig in. Um, right now, probably the biggest and most likely to be true rumor is that Hi-Fi Rush
Hmm.
is headed towards the Switch, headed towards Nintendo Switch.
Sounds about right.
Does that sound right to you,
I,
Jokes?
I feel like Hi-Fi Rush, it fits the Nintendo Switch. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel like it's not some superly over graphic game that's going to struggle to run on the Switch. I feel like obviously it's not going to look as crisp and clean as it could on the box, but I feel like it's not going to give them a struggle like say like a Mortal Kombat on the Switch.
Mm.
Um, so I feel
Mm.
like Hi-Fi Rush on the Switch actually sounds like a good home for it outside of the Xbox family.
Sam, why do you think people are upset about it?
Because everybody wants the fanboys want to have their stuff to themselves. That's why. When it was placing fanboys, they would do the same thing. They don't want to share. They want to say, be able to say that our console is superior because we have this, and this. And it actually makes sense, kind of, on Microsoft point. If you look at it, having their games everywhere, that's more people buying your
Mhm.
stuff, more money you're making at the end of the day.
Um, does it feel like a genuine issue, Jokes, for people to be upset if they bought an Xbox
Mhm.
or exclusives, and if now they're gonna start putting titles that were exclusive on the Xbox on other things, and they could have just not bought an Xbox, right? Like if they already had a Switch,
Mhm.
I ain't have to buy an Xbox, right? Now, listen, I am not suggesting that people bought Xboxes to
Right,
play
right,
Hi-Fi Rush. Do
right,
not
right.
don't do that to me. I'm just asking, and here's why I'm asking: because the other rumor is that they are prepping Sea of Thieves to go to PlayStation.
Hmm. I'm not mad at that. I'm not.
I'm not mad at it.
And I don't like
People are hot,
like
bro.
Sin said, like gatekeeping. I think that's the word that we like to use around here a lot.
Mhm.
And it's like I get it, exclusives, but at the same time, like I feel like you would want to have more people to be able to come into the world that you absolutely like. Say Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is absolutely one of their greatest successes. People have gone back in and are playing that thing. They keep adding content to it. You add PlayStation into the mix, you're going to open it up to a much bigger crowd, much bigger audience. And Microsoft has already said, listen, we want you to play wherever you are. It's our title. If you want to play it on your PlayStation, cool. If you want to play it on your PC, cool. We just want you to come in and experience it. And I think that's a win for all gamers.
You know, and to
But
add to that joke, if they add on crossplay with it, that's just all way more people that you have to play with. You know what I'm saying? In this system, in this game, this world that you love so much. Like it's not really a downside to it, just because PlayStation or PC or whoever gets to play it.
I just think I feel like it's a mentality that we've just been in for so many years. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with having, like, say, like God of War, for all intents will never come to anything outside of the PlayStation. And I don't think there's anything wrong with having PC. I should say console. Yeah. Let me say it that way, console wise. But I think each console should still have a game here and there that you will only get on the platform. Perfectly fine. But you can still have these games that maybe they initially start, like, I hate to use Final Fantasy as an example, but it was supposed to be, you know, PlayStation had the exclusive, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, was supposed to have the exclusive for a year at minimum, and then it was going to come over to the box.
Well, we don't really know that, but that was what, that's what we
at least reading what the way that says, it seems like it was going to, or at least PC, like the same concept in there for it. I just think it's just, it's a stupid thing that we're just trying to gatekeep. I get it. You love what you love. It's your platform. You stand by it. But I feel like you should be welcoming everybody into your community so we can actually broaden it out for it.
So I want to play devil's advocate for a moment. Because I want to look at it from the perspective of people who, have chosen a side. And when I say chosen a side, see, I think a lot of the console war thing, I have my preference, but I also own both platforms, all three platforms, right? Not everybody can do that. Not everybody has the money to do that, and not everybody is willing to do that. So I do think that when you choose a side, and you are choosing a side because your money says you got to go one way or go the other, right? And so I think if you're a person who maybe didn't or doesn't have the money to do an Xbox and a PlayStation and a Switch, and you chose Xbox, you said, all right, here's the exclusives, right? Let me get this because I do like those exclusives. Even though the PlayStation ones are enticing, I'm going to go here because these exclusives plus Game Pass, maybe, right, is why I'm going to choose this. However, if at this point you start to feel like, well, I made this decision, but if they're just going to put their games on PlayStation, then I could have bought a PlayStation and I could be getting the best of both worlds. I could be playing these Xbox games and also be playing The Last of Us or God of War or, you know what I'm saying, whatever else it is. I do think that that's where a lot of that comes from. I want to make it very clear that, like, there are people who are in one camp or the other because they had to make a decision one way or the other because they're like, well, I'm not going to spend, I don't have $70 to spend on all these games, or I don't, you know what I mean? So they make a decision based on that. Do I still think it makes sense for Microsoft to make that move? Yes, but I don't want to pretend that it doesn't make sense at all for some people to be upset when you feel like you made a choice. Right. And now you might feel like you made the wrong choice because of that. So Zaina says the issue is if we went out and spent $500 on a new console to play one game, which is dumb anyway, now I lost $500 because I didn't need it because it's now on my original system. Again, that's where I'm at, right? Or again, if you were trying to choose between the two, well, if you could have chose PlayStation and now those games are going to be available there as well, then you spent the $500 maybe in the wrong place, right? Now, what I will say is, more than likely, right now we're talking about two games, and we're only talking about two games, right? But we know like Call of Duty is going to be everywhere. Like they're just not going to, which is fine. We're talking about two games, and those two games, Hi-Fi Rush has been out for a year now. They stealth released it last year. And if anything, let's put the game out. It's a first party game. It goes straight into Game Pass. Let's see what it does in terms of getting numbers into Game Pass, right? You get to the end of the year, the game of the year conversations are happening, and people are going, yo, Hi-Fi Rush, stealth released at the beginning of last year, one of the best games of the year still, right? Somehow, in the conversation with Baldur's Gate 3 and Hogwarts and Spider-Man and whatever, people are still talking about Hi-Fi Rush, right? If you didn't get an Xbox or join Game Pass, right, off of the strength of that, you're not going to do it now. But you probably have a Switch. And you've been hearing people talk about how good Hi-Fi Rush was, right? So if they drop it on the Switch, there's money to be made there. And like, you've had a year to play it or get it ahead of people or whatever, and it didn't cost you anything extra to do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that big a deal. Sea of Thieves, that game is like 6 years old.
Yep.
Still
it's like strong. 6 years old. And they finally have gotten it to a place where now you can play. And hold on, Andrew says, how about when a console has DLC exclusive to them? Does that ever irk you? Yes. However, I think most of that is gone now.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that. I mean, it happens, but it tends to be a timed exclusive or something like that. Which
Destiny
again,
days were terrible.
Hey, bro, PlayStation had the whole strike. Well, I was playing it on PlayStation initially first. Like they had a whole strike mission, weapons that were exclusive. It was like, okay.
Again, a terrible thing. Yes, it bothers me. Microsoft, specifically Phil Spencer, who's running Xbox, has said he don't want to do that. He won't do that. So, like, I seriously doubt you will see, even with Call of Duty, you're going to see parity because they don't want anybody to feel like they're getting cheated. They want everybody to feel like they're on a level playing field when they're playing because they want everybody to come in and play. Right. So I don't think you're going to be in a position where you're going to see, oh, Microsoft owns it now, so they have exclusive maps and they get those maps early. Nah, they want to drop the map so everybody can jump in and play. That's just, where, again, look, Sony likes to do those deals with third parties. And if they're shelling out the money to do those deals with third parties to have stuff exclusively for them, then that's cool because they do net profit on the back end because there are people who are just like, well, I'm going to buy it on PlayStation because I get all the stuff that I want to have a year early. Why would I do that and wait? So, but I do think that a lot of that's changing because so many of these companies are looking at doing live service games that they need to have parity because you want to have people doing crossplay. You want all your people playing at the same time so you can keep your numbers high, right? So if you're launching brand new content, new maps, new guns, a new mode, you want as many people to be able to jump in and do that thing as possible. That's not just that's across Steam. You know what I mean? That's PC, that's console, you want it to be everything. You don't want it to be one thing. And you want to be able to do like one run of advertising for it. Hey, this new thing is coming. It drops on this day or whatever. Everybody jumping in play instead of being like, hey, PlayStation, you can play this, whatever. Right. And then you got to do it all over again when it finally comes to somebody else or whatever. And it feels, I think it would be really smart. Sea of Thieves has had millions of players for the entire time. That game is a huge success. Rare is on to doing other games and other titles. And again, they finally have it now where you can have solos where it's just you. You can have servers where it's just you. You don't have to have other people in it.
Something we've been asking for forever.
From day one.
Yep.
They just did that update. So now that that's there, I think if they give that to PlayStation, make your money. You know what I mean? Like, have those people pay for that game. pay for that content, pay for that DLC, you know what I mean, and start buying and enjoying, that game, and just see where it goes. I don't have a problem with that. Do I still think that there should be exclusive titles on the Xbox consoles? I do. I do think that it is in some manner important to the ecosystem. I think that it is important to Game Pass. I think Game Pass needs to have exclusive titles that are at least there for a certain period of time, and what that period of time is undisclosed. You don't know if you're going to wait a year. You don't know if you're going to wait 2 years. Could be like Sea of Thieves and you might wait 5 years, right? But right now in the game industry, the best way to make money seems to be to do live service. And the best way to do live service and make money in live service is to have
it
as
everywhere.
many people playing it as possible. So I do think that there will be games that are like your single player opportunities, like a God of War, that they'll just be like, nah, it's exclusive and it's not coming anywhere. So like the new Indiana Jones game, probably exclusive. The new Blade game, probably exclusive. But something they do that's live service, I think it goes everywhere. And I think that just makes sense. Sure, do the beta with Xbox first, right? Let those players get in and play it first or whatever. We're doing a free weekend, whatever. Like, sure, like do that all you want. You know what I mean? I think that's fine. Let people who are in Game Pass continue to get a discount when they buy DLC and do stuff like that, because you do. You get a discount because you're a Game Pass member on that kind of stuff. So does that entice somebody who maybe has been playing on PlayStation to finally say, maybe I'll just do that and get Game Pass? Does it entice somebody who has a PlayStation, doesn't have an Xbox, doesn't want an Xbox, but has a Samsung TV, which has access to Game Pass, to just be like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and sign up for Game Pass because I could be playing this for free. I do like this game. This is pretty cool, and I'm glad I can play it on PlayStation, but I got to buy it there. And I could just do a subscription and play it right on my TV, and I don't even
got
need
all these
buy
other games to play.
So there's these ways of kind of getting in to the, getting into your home. You know what I mean? Having you say, that's Xbox joint. Oh, that's a Microsoft game. Well, that's, you know what I mean? That just, it begins to make sense to me.
I don't know when they boot them up.
We'll see. There is supposed to be a Microsoft Direct like next week or something.
The developer one, yeah.
There's a developer Direct coming up, so we'll see what they say. We'll see what they're talking about. All right, let's talk about our favorite things of 2023. Sin, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
Gave you guys a list of things to go down. You might have some things that you added or, whatever. But we're going to run down your list. Favorite movie of 2023, Sin?
Favorite?
Wait, y'all want to go round robin? You want to go in a circle?
Pick one. Just do the round robin. Let's do the round robin each one.
All right, Sin. Favorite movie of 2023?
Favorite movie of 2023? Ooh, comes down between two, which is John Wick 4 and Black Clover the movie. I'm going with Black Clover the movie. When it comes to anime, we're worried when it comes to, the movies, especially is it canon, is it not canon? If it's not canon, okay, what are we doing with it? Because it's a high chance that it's going to be some bush. But no, they knocked it out the park. they knocked it out the park. It was 95% action. Top tier action.
Top to bottom.
Yeah, like it opens and it does not, it just goes the whole time, and it was great. And I think that's probably because the creator, this was the story he wanted to add into the manga, into the anime, but didn't have enough time to. So he just took that and adapted it into a movie. So it's like canon, not canon type of deal. So, but yeah, Black Clover didn't disappoint.
Jokes. Favorite movie of 2022?
I gotta go Spider-Verse. Solid the whole way around. It probably could have been Godzilla had I seen it, but I did not see it. So Spider-Verse takes the win for me.
There's no way Godzilla would have beat Spider-Verse for you. I don't believe it.
I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know. I mean, look, there's no Zords in that joint. That
joint was fire. That shit was great.
If Zords were coming in, you know what I'm saying? And like you maybe. So I had 2023 had a lot of sneak attack movies. That year, like when I started looking at what came out, then I'm like, oh yeah, that did come out. Like we had joints that like dropped all year. Spider-Verse Easily the best movie of last year. Easily. Now, I didn't see Oppenheimer. I will, but I haven't. Barbie was actually pretty dope. That joint wasn't no Spider-Verse. Bruh. There's no other joint that came out that was just a straight, like, this joint's a 10. My only issue was that it was only the first part. Like, that's it.
Right.
Other than that, that joint bangs from beginning to end. So well animated, so well acted, so good. Andrew said, I just finished Spider-Man 2 and was mad they took away being able to rehear the podcast because they cut off when you get close to the mission. Oh, I didn't have that problem. Did they change that? Was that an update?
No, it would do that. But it would usually pick back up after I finished and get the swinging again. It would pick back up.
Yeah, you talking about when the girl would kick in, like as you're swinging around, and she would start saying stuff about news stories and stuff like that. Yeah, I didn't have an issue with that. But it would keep me like swinging as far as playing the game while I was listening to it if I wanted to hear it. Instead of getting into a fight or whatever. Sin, favorite show of 2023.
This is a tough one. I can coin toss this one. I'm just go One Piece. It's between One Piece and wrestling. Like it just and I'm just gonna go with One Piece on this one. Like out of the 4 years we've been dealing with the Wano arc, this year was the finale.
That just sounds disgusting. We've been dealing with the same arc for 4 years
getting through the Wano arc, and this whole entire year literally was the finale. And
said that like Loki. I've been.
That's what I was getting. I've been watching the Wano arc for 4 years.
But the climax of the arc didn't disappoint. People got higher new bounties. Someone became a Yonko. We got to see everybody, even the Straw Hat women, turn up to new levels. We got Gear 4, which was the most insane, incredible, and scary thing I think I've ever seen. Gear 5, sorry, thank you. But still, it was, it's hands down One Piece.
Jokes.
I had a toss up. It was between Star Trek, Picard Season 3, and Attack on Titan. But it ended up being for me Star Trek Picard Season 3. Picard Season 3, Season 1 and Season 2 were okay. But Season 3, as being like, listen, this is it for the next generation crew. We are going to go out on a high note.
It feel like Mass Effect. It feel like having your whole squad.
Having the whole squad. I don't even care. Spoiler alert. I mean, it's been out, a whole year now? But it was, but oh well. But to get to see something that you wouldn't necessarily think you would, obviously, if you watch Star Trek, you know the Enterprise from the Next Generation. It got destroyed in one of the movies, and they, of course, made new Enterprises. But this dude, Geordi LaForge, as a surprise to all the original crew, secretly himself rebuilt the Enterprise. And it was supposed to be a surprise, like for a good anniversary type of thing, but they ended up needing the old Enterprise to save the day. So
why didn't you ask him about that when we saw him backstage at Awesome Con? Should have just been like, yo, should have asked him, like, you rebuilt
the way you
the
built the
joint
Enterprise?
Yeah.
Hey, it was one of the most.
You never saw Reading Rainbow. You too young.
I saw obviously on PBS. I guess at that point it was just reruns. Like I watched Sesame Street and stuff, so it came on either before or afterwards.
I'm just picking on you, dog. Let it go. It's cool.
It's all good. But yeah, Picard Season 3. I would say if you are a Next Generation fan, you honestly can watch Season 3 without watching Season 1 and 2. I really do like it. There's like 2 characters that you're not probably going to be familiar with, but everybody else, it's somebody that you already know, and it's absolutely worth the watch.
Listen, if the new season of Invincible was the whole season,
Ooh, it would have been.
Period. However,
Not mad at that at all.
We got half.
for me, it was a toss-up between Mando season 3 and Loki. And I really think, like, as much as I like Mando season 3, Loki just turned a corner for me that was like, it was special. I just think it like having that show end where it ends, the way it ends, is, I think, just a brilliant. It's just brilliant. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it just is. Obviously, doing Spoiler Boys, we talked about that show a lot. We talked about Mando a lot, though, right? And as much as Mando was cool, I didn't really like the ending. And Loki, I like the ending. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it just like, I like the ending, and I just feel like Loki it's just a dope redemption arc. Like, Loki's arc from the beginning of the MCU to right now is incredible. And to have that show put him where he is in the grand scheme of the MCU now,
beautiful.
It really is.
It's beautiful.
It really is, jokes. Like, it just is. It just is. There's some loopholes, but everything has loopholes. Everything has loopholes. Your shirt got loopholes. It's cool. Finn, you have a favorite podcast from last year?
I do. My two favorite ones, I kind of go back between these two every year, which one's my favorite for that year, and that's Flagrant and the Joe Budden podcast. This year, for me, it was Joe Budden podcast for me. That was my favorite one of this year.
Jokes, I don't know that you never talked to me about podcasts. You even listen to podcasts?
Yeah, not necessarily a podcast. They do podcasts, but they also make their stuff on like YouTube. That's you familiar with Rhett and Link? Good Mythical Morning.
Yeah.
I absolutely love their hey, listen, I don't even know. It's just a couple of days they started popping up in my feed, and I'm just watching like small little clips, and I'm just like, I just gotta watch the show now. And that Joe got me hooked. And they finna be here in June at Constitution Hall, and I'm probably gonna go to that.
We're gonna be busy.
You probably right.
We're gonna be busy. We're gonna be busy. So I listen to a lot of pop culture podcasts and video game podcasts. Most of them are all the same. Like, you could kind of interchange one for the other as far as those are concerned. What you can't do is replace $1 million worth of game. That joint, that show is like, coming from that world of just how I love music, hip hop, the inside scoop kind of stuff. And honestly, what those two knuckleheads do, because they're knuckleheads, but they're so good. Like, they're so good to people. They're criminals. Like, let's keep it a buck, right?
Right.
First and foremost, two of the most accomplished writers in all of hip hop. Period. Like, they wrote and ghost wrote for your favorite folks for a long time. Let me tell you, still keeping secrets, but I knew. And what they're doing in terms of like trying to steer the younger generation of hip hop, the newcomers, talking to the old heads, and just kind of, and again, coming from that criminal world, haven't done jail time, just kind of like saying like, nah, dog, like, don't do this. But also the way literally they'll talk to people who, like, been around forever, and they be like, you trying to do a tour with so and so? Hold tight. And literally just will make a phone call live on the podcast and be like, hey, I'm gonna have so and so give you a call. He gonna call you to get on the such and such show. You can do that? And they be like, yeah, just Have him like send it to me, and he'll be like, all right, bet. Matter of fact, hold on, I'm gonna put you on the phone with him right now, and then just put him on the phone. And next thing you know, this dude is on tour with some. Like, it's just
fire.
That kind of stuff, dog, is like incredible. And as like the way that we do stuff in terms of like networking, reaching out to people, working with people, and like literally like doing a lot of that same kind of stuff that like y'all never really see it like technically on the back end of it, but like we love to do. Like I love that kind of stuff. So $1 million worth of game. It is foul mouth and raunchy, but it's super good. I gotta put it out there because I can't just. It is, but it's so good. So yeah, that's my podcast.
Okay.
Sin,
good one. Yeah.
You have a favorite collectible from this year? Toy, collectible, you know. Oh, he got up.
He got up.
Here's the thing.
Oh, we are. I think I know what
I want y'all who are watching to know that I sent them this list like 3 weeks ago. Hey, here's all the stuff. Here's what it is. Add what you want. Blah blah blah. You see, they not ready. Look at them.
No, look, they were out the cases and everything, sitting right here waiting. Yeah.
Okay.
My first one, I bought it during Royal Rumble this year. Opened it for my birthday, my Triple H 25th anniversary one, and just off a whim, a few pay-per-views ago, I got this WWE Championship one. These are without a fact my two favorite ones. My out of my collectibles I got this year, these two hands down.
Why didn't you buy the women's championship joint?
That's my third one. I've already told jokes about it. It's either Rhea's I'm gonna get or the male version of it that Seth has.
Seth, world heavyweight.
Only because I'm debating for Halloween doing a
You gonna dress up as Rhea Ripley?
Gender bent, yeah. Not ring gear, walk out, talk shit gear.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, yo.
What's your? Do you have a collectible though? I can't stand over this.
Oh my god. I would say for me, it's gotta be one of the million Funko Pops that I probably bought last year. I got they released the Tyrannosaurus from Power Rangers. That one, actually, funny enough, we talk about Star Trek. Geordi LaForge was an exclusive one they released during I don't remember if it was San Diego Comic-Con or if it was New York Comic-Con. It was the same time, Sin, that I sent you the joint about the Luffy that had the poster. So I got the Luffy and I got the Geordi LaForge joint. Okay. And then, of course, the joint I recorded my Master Grade SD Freedom Gundam, which I'm going to build that in time enough for when the movie comes out. So I'll have that kit done, and then I'm going to end up buying the new version of Freedom Gundam once that kit comes out.
Okay.
Got
like all three versions.
For me, this Pac-Man Lego set, which I'm not going to pick up right now.
Oh, nah, please don't. No, please don't.
I mean, it won't fall apart, dog. Like, I put Legos together good, all right? But I'm just
Hey, listen, I don't
about a Lego game.
I don't doubt your skills. I don't doubt your skills.
I might hit the please don't. Like, nah, dog. You know, if I pick this joint up and that joint was like
exactly. That's all it takes. It takes one sneeze in the process of picking that joint up to bring it over. One sneeze.
I'm not gonna sneeze doing that. It ain't gonna be me. But yeah, this, look, me and Zayna put
hold on. Z calling you out though.
Kind of together. I said I put Legos together good. I didn't say I put Legos together fast. And you helped me. So don't come for me and our quality time. I'm just spending our quality time together. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we kind of as I'm saying, like, yeah, we kind of built this together, and so it was special. But now it's not special because you see how she acted.
I was gonna give you your flowers. Get it now.
Sin, favorite game.
This year I didn't do much. I did more backlog games this year. So as far as 2023 goes, I got to put it to Spider-Man 2. Kind of like the reason I said when we were last talking about this the other week. like it pulled me away from Lost Judgment, and I played it and 100% of it. Like I didn't stop. I couldn't put it down. So
you got the platinum?
No, I'm not a trophy hunter, achievement hunter. Like I just
that jump was worth doing every single thing in that game. Every single thing, even
look, that works for me. So no, I didn't try to get the.
We almost made it.
I don't know what happened though, but you was definitely having a conniption, and Sim was like, "Nope." Let's see. Zaina says movie Spider-Man. Didn't watch myself. Show Last of Us. Podcast Dark History by Bailey Sarian. Collectibles my BTS. Oh my God. Listen. Well, yeah, you got. I want you to pick one. I want you to pick one collectibles, eh? You know what I'm saying? Choose a joint. Choose a baby. Joe's favorite game.
Spider-Man.
Okay.
Hey, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Spider-Man 2.
Almost, Cuddy. She did almost knit that giant blanket faster than I build Legos. I mean, I got joints that just be sitting in the box forever. That specific card. Okay, that's fair. That's your favorite. So Spider-Man for you, Jokes.
Yep.
I think you're right. Spider-Man. Spider-Man was the best game I played this year. Baldur's Gate notwithstanding, I have not. It's crazy to me the sheer number of outlets and people who chose Baldur's Gate as their game of the year last year that did not complete that game. And then and that's not to say they didn't have a great time and put hundreds of hours. There were people who have like 100 hours in still in Act 1. That is a feat. However, to me, so many people were complaining about the end of the game and how it got glitchy in the third act and stuff like that. That I'm like, I don't know. I heard a lot of people talking about Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda. I don't care. It's not interesting anymore.
I'm not a Zelda fan. I can't do it.
Mario Wonder. Mario is out for me. Can't do it anymore. Spider-Man was like one of two games that like once I started, I just was like every day. That's all I wanted to do was come through, finish that joint, do the story, get the new outfits. Period. So that's my joint. Sin.
Yeah.
Favorite song / artist, or both?
Not necessarily a song. I have 2 albums I've kind of been going back to all year. I don't know the names of like specific songs I like on it. I just put it on, just let them run. But it was
Who? It's cool. Who's artist?
Tory Lanez. Like I knew like singles of his that I liked, but I was hearing like he had like a couple like really really like top notch projects. So interested, just went Spotify, put them on, driving, the convention back and forth to work, and 2 of them, Playboy and Alone at Prom, absolute fire. And I've been rocking with these like all year. And the deluxe just came out, so yeah, I've been back on Alone at Prom like constantly.
Jokes.
I gotta go with a group called Sim. Sin, you know them very well from doing the Rumbling on Attack on Titan. So after the Rumbling came out, I heard, of course, I actually went ahead and started listening to their music. Interesting mix for them because they are obviously they're from Japan. It's like a reggae rock mix that they have. It's pretty, and I just went ahead and started listening to their album. Because after the obviously you know how I feel about the Rumble. Once that came out, and they also did the ending song for season 4, part 1, or season 4, final chat, whatever. I can't even say it the way that it's supposed to be. But literally, because I did the Apple Music did the thing where you could like look at like your top artists and song for the end of the year, and Sim had the top of my list on there for it.
I dig it. For me, it's so there's an artist His name is Leon Thomas, and y'all wouldn't know who he is, more than likely. He put out an album this year, so he produces and has written a lot of stuff, including stuff for like Tory Lanez. Like he's done a lot of stuff for other people. A lot of behind the scenes stuff. I kind of went back, like him and Victoria Monet, I actually think had now they're not my most listened to joints. Let me just make that very clear. However, they were my favorite. Like Leon Thomas is just it's weird because listening to like his album sounds like everybody else's albums, like everybody else's like R&B albums. But it makes sense because he writes and produces for like all these other people. So and he does actually have, there is a remix to one of his songs on his album with Victoria Monet on it, which I don't think her album this year was as good as her last album. Still, Leon Thomas, underrated. He was on a TV show with Ariana Grande, as a matter of fact, and does do some work with her. As a matter, and like Victoria Monet does a lot of stuff for her too. Doctor Who says reggae and rock is ska. Jokes is too young to remember ska.
Yeah, you gotta say. I'll look it up. Actually, I forgot another collectible that I never sent to you guys that I wanted to do. It was with Tatiana.
We're not doing collectibles now. We passed that point.
Hey, no, because you'll get a laugh out of it. I want you to get a laugh out of it.
If I don't
laugh,
if I say it's Beast Wars, you probably will laugh.
Leon Thomas has been around for a minute. I will not laugh if you have a Beast Wars collectible that is your favorite collectible from this year.
It's not favorite. It's not favorite.
Well, that's what this is. This is your favorite.
But still, this one has a little bit of a special place, though.
Thing, he's pulling a me. He's pulling the sin right now.
I can't even, like, it's like, what
if Sin didn't do it, keep going.
Go ahead and share your listen. Let's have show and tell real quick. Share.
I don't have it. It's not in reach right now. I just messaged.
What are we talking about? All right, moving on. Sin. Sin.
Yes, sir.
Favorite moment of 2023.
Ooh, what's my favorite little pop culture moment of what stuff we do? We'll throw this up real quick. I appreciate it. Thank you, G. Thank you. Well, my favorite moment of the year, shocker, Rhea winning the championship. Yep. Going starting first at the Rumble, getting to the end, getting the opportunity to go to WrestleMania, beating 25-time champion Charlotte Flair for the championship.
I don't know what number that was you just said, but okay.
25?
She got so many. Point is, she beat her, got a championship, has been on a tear ever since. So, yeah, that's my favorite moment of 2023.
Jokes? Favorite moment of 2023, dog. And
this is my
favorite in 2023.
This is my favorite moment of 2023. When they announced that we were getting the new Gundam movie, finally, Gundam Seed Freedom. So I was so amped about that because Seed's now, this is damn near 20 years old, if I'm not mistaken. That, yeah. It's disgusting to even think about.
I gotta go back and revisit it just to get ready for the movie.
Yeah, so that was my favorite announcement part on there for it. Oh, never. Tatiana did actually. She did.
What is that?
Tigertron.
A what?
Yes. See, got him. Let's go. Exactly.
Hey, why he said it like we're supposed to know who the hell that is?
Tigertron.
Like we dumb or something. It's
Listen.
Tigertron.
First things first. I knew. No. I knew you weren't going to know who it was, but I knew you were going to get the laugh, and I got what I wanted. We're good.
Hold on, dog. Not Megatron.
Tigertron.
Tiger Mark. Tiger millionaire.
This sounds like we dumb for not knowing who Tigertron is.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. I was just waiting. Listen, I was just waiting for y'all to laugh. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. I got what I wanted. Continue.
You got that last year?
Hmm?
Where'd you get it from?
Oh, that was a Christmas gift.
Oh, you just got it.
Hold on. Who gave it to you?
You already know. Tatiana did.
Good job, Tatiana. You know who Tigertron is. Because I don't know who that is. Yeah. Who dares?
Perfect moment for the show. Beautiful.
You know what, Heather? When I see you at MagFest, and I'm almost positive I will, that's the first thing I'm going to say to you. That's how I expect to be greeted. How you not know Tigertron? That's what I expect. That's the expectation when we see each other from now on. Just a shoulder shrug. How you not know Tigertron?
Oh,
matter of fact, can we go to a joint just with signs that say,
"Do you not know Tigertron?
Do you know Tigertron?"
How you not know? I will do shirts.
You gonna walk around and ask me at MagFest. You know Tigertron?
Hey, what you know about Tigertron? You ever seen a Tigertron cosplay? Hey, bro, listen. If that joint means the world to you, I'm excited for you, bro. But that is a 2023 joint. Like, you got it in 2023. That's your favorite joint. That's fine. Like, that counts as 2023. It's just, you know, you forgot about it, which also means you were unprepared, even though I gave you this list like 3 weeks ago. But all right. Favorite moment, sir?
Oh, you got my favorite moment.
Yeah, he said the announcement.
Your favorite moment.
My favorite moment is actually one of our moments, and it was technically it is interviewing Rob Paulson and Maurice LaMarche at Awesome Con this year.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly it's the being, I'm gonna air quote this, backstage at Awesome Con, where we were not supposed to be, but where we were given permission to be, and having Awesome Con security run up on us, only to be like, well, I guess we gotta let them go. I guess we gotta just leave them alone. Yeah.
Who let you back here? Who let you back here? He did.
Interview.
Why did he let you? Because we're interviewing.
Yeah, it was quite cool, because that incident also, like, I met and shook hands with like Ashley Eckstein, who is the original voice of Ahsoka Tano, who started her universe clothing line. Like, met and talked to her, and again, like, yeah, man, Joy LaForge just reading Rainbow, walking right past us. Samwise Gamgee, and these might just walk like everybody just kind of back there hanging, eating, you know, chilling. Like, it was just kind of cool to be there in that moment in a space, and it was like some upper level like loading snacks. Like, yeah, we're back here and we're good. And like to literally have Awesome Con for us to email them and say, hey, listen, like, we got our press. We're looking to do interviews with people. We haven't seen a list yet. And then just be like, oh, yeah, nobody's doing interviews this year. Nobody can do interviews. Oh, we doing interviews.
That's what we do.
That was cool. That was a really good moment. And it was like, again, kind of on the back. Like, this year's was very up and down. It was very, very roller coaster. So that was my moment. Sin, biggest pop culture surprise of 2023. What surprised you the most?
Oh, One Piece getting a remake.
Okay.
Yeah. Which studio and Netflix are remaking One Piece? It's going to be called The One Piece. It will be on Netflix, and they are starting from the very beginning and going all the way to the end, even though the original run is still going on. But yes, that'll get started soon, and I'm super excited to see what they do with the remake. You know, I'm pretty sure they're going to do it the correct pacing and probably take out a lot of the, you know, just pacing issues at most. We'll see what other stuff they add to switch up. But I'm excited to just see a new team tackling, just, you know, see how it looks, see how it's presented, the whole 9 yards, and honestly just reliving over from the beginning all over again with everybody. So,
hey, Kay, don't be mad. Hey, listen, those early episodes need a remake because if you go back and watch
them in the late 90s, like
no, them Jones need it.
And plus, if you go back, when you go and sit and watch One Piece now, you get like 3-4 different styles of animation throughout the years. This way, it'll be one concise thing the entire time. So
can't even say concise because it's a different studio, so it'll look good.
And Wit is fire. Like Wit is the top tier.
It's gonna look good.
So
yeah, I mean, look, I know I've been not to get on a tangent about anime studios, but like I know there has been a lot of discussion about anime studios and crunch and like how they've been treated and them having to move between stuff and that kind of forcing things
season 2
and stuff like that. Like I know there's been a lot of that, so hopefully this isn't a thing that does that to them, because I've seen and heard that a lot of that is pressure that's coming from streaming services specifically, right? Because they have this, they're just kind of on this tear, having to do certain things or whatever. So hopefully it's all good in the end and doesn't have a negative effect on what it looks like or any of that kind of stuff.
And just a little bit, just inside little baseball, when Jujutsu Kaisen season 17, not season 17, when episode 17 came out of season 2, it was unfinished. I was about to say, we said I watched it. It was unfinished when they put it out. Like they got to go back and update and add in the stuff in it and get the finishing time. Talking about those crunches and all that kind of stuff.
Right. It's a big deal. Like it is a big thing. Again, we went through the whole strikes for writers and actors and whatever. The kind of stuff that's happening isn't just happening with us and happening here. It's happening across just pop culture and creativity as a whole, as the business side of creativity is pushing down on the creative side of creativity to get more and more out of them, and not necessarily pay them for it and so forth. That's the thing I'm really looking forward to changing going into next year. Jokes. Biggest surprise.
CM Punk returning to the WWE. You can also go in there getting fired by AEW and then getting hired back by WWE.
It's kind of all one timeline. It's kind of all one saga.
It really is. It was like it was a surprise because like WWE pulled one of those old school fake me outs. It was during Survivor Series. It was in Chicago. So that was already kind of the setup piece. Show was getting ready to go off.
Anything to anybody who doesn't know, like who doesn't watch wrestling.
CM Punk is from Chicago.
Sure,
good.
That helps.
The show went off. Had the logo that comes up on the bottom of the screen, trademark 2023 or whatever. Jump went away, and then his music just hits, and he just comes out.
They did a complete fake shutdown.
Yeah.
Like, the show's over.
That place erupted.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. That is one of the dopest things that happened, period, last year. I'm not even like that is one of the dopest things that happened at all. Just for me, it's not even that he came back to WWE. It's just the way it was handled. Just the way it was handled. Like, I love stuff like that. Like, just, we about to shut it down. Everybody like, all right, it was a good show. It's over, da-da-da. And then to do that, like, again, wrestling is the only real sport left. And they know what they're doing. It is entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm.
And they did it for the pop. And when you do it for a pop, because again, here's the thing. Anybody who's in the arena doesn't see that. Like, they don't see the logo and everything's turning off or whatever. That pop was for the people at home. That's nuts. I just want to take a moment to take your moment and explain to you that as a person who respects wrestling but doesn't care, but has a much higher respect for like showmanship, how to put on a show, entertainment, planning, like putting something like that together, slim.
And to keep it under wraps, because nowadays keeping anything wrestling like
You know what else is crazy about that moment? The fact that was Randy's return.
Hey, that's
in the same time.
Top of somebody else's like again. Yeah, that's a super solid joint. Jokes for real. Here's the thing. My biggest surprise of last year is kind of left field. It is Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Let me talk
All
to you.
the games I play, and as much time as bro, I was in that joint. I didn't even realize, like, when they did the Xbox did the like, here's your how many hours you played and top games, whatever. That joint being my most played game, I would have never guessed that. I honestly would have guessed it was like Grand Theft, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. Bro, I played the bejesus out of that game. Enjoyed every minute of it. That game was way better and way better put together than it had any business of being. And I'm gonna tell you what, in any other year, like video games this year, I really don't care what people say. Like, I know that people will debate this. This year was the biggest year for gaming, period. In a year that had a new Zelda, a new 2D Mario, a Mortal Kombat, a Street Fighter, you know, like
Almost attacking.
almost attacking.
Almost attacking.
Like, you know, to have Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3.
Heck, 2 Yakuzas came out this year.
2 Yakuzas this year. Bro, like, in that game came out at the beginning of the year, was riddled with controversy during the whole making all last year. Should we play it? Should we not? Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Hey, Slim.
Yeah, we saw that, Drew.
I love
Me and my wand, bro.
that.
Out there. Bro.
I didn't expect to have as much fun with it because I'm not
Hey,
like I respect Harry Potter. I enjoy it, but I'm not like a huge Harry Potter fan.
Love the world.
Yeah. The like it literally felt like you were at Hogwarts. Like,
Cause you was.
You were.
Like they did a brilliant job of just that world and putting everything together, all the little details. It was just amazing.
Hey, bruh, when I learned the dark arts, I wish.
That
Hey, listen, my only thing, I almost wish the game had like some type of morality system in that jump. Because once there was no repercussions to be using like all the curses and stuff, it was a wrap.
You're right. I mean, you're right. I mean, look, it just, I don't think that game gets a sequel. I mean, I know the game did well. There's been rumors of DLC or at least them adding like Quidditch or whatever to it at some point, which would be cool. But that game, I wasn't expecting it. You know what I mean? Like, I was highly pleased. I just wasn't expecting it to be like, I knew my way around Hogwarts, bro. Like, I feel like I could walk that joint. I know where to go. And again, also, I'm a person who is like, a fast travel system needs to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man 2 has the best fast travel that has ever been implemented in a game, period. Hated God of War's joint. Spider-Man 2 is just like, hey, pick a street and a spot on the street, and you just
swing it right down into
it.
What?
Hey, listen.
What? That joint was incredible. Hogwarts, for the size of the maps and the loading and stuff, the way it was broken up, the fast travel was implemented well, but I used it.
Nah, but I wanted to fly around with my broomstick or a hippogriff. Oh, man.
I'm soaring these skies, baby.
I didn't even need it. I'm out here. Yeah, that joint, so good. And I like really could have got more into like the farming and like breeding animals and all that. Like, I didn't even really do all of that. And like, I really could have. And I was just like, it's starting to get a little too Pokemon for me. If I start doing this, I'm not gonna be able to stop. So I'm not doing it. All right, so one last thing. This is the one thing that wasn't on the list that I sent you, y'all.
Okay.
Did you have a favorite snack we tried last year?
Though, what was the last Pop-Tarts that we had?
The banana bread joints. Those are my favorite from last year. Banana bread Pop-Tarts. So good. So good.
I might have to piggyback and go with you on that because my brain is all over the place. I can't think of something. But that to close out the year, that was fire.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. All right. That's our favorite stuff from last year. Look, Echo is live.
Yeah.
We're about to shut this down. I'm so like.
See how long that first episode.
48
Me and
minutes.
Edie started watching
already
Daredevil
All right,
1
look.
yesterday. She's hooked on that joint now. And I'm like, all right, let's see what this Echo talks. It's only 5 episodes. Like, I'm just like, let me get in here. Let's get this done. Clearly, we're going to do a spoiler buzz. We'll figure out what the time is going to be like for that. So Echo is live tonight. Are the expectations too high for Echo, do you think? Is there a lot riding on this?
Yes.
I don't know.
For their more adult stuff, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the first one they're bringing out, yeah.
I think that's part of why they're just like, we're going to give you all the episodes. Let's just give it to them.
I agree.
How it works out.
All right, so 48.
This Friday,
39.
we are hosting at Nerd Prom. So we'll be at Nerd Prom, Baltimore Soundstage this Friday. You can find it on Facebook or just search it. Highly recommend getting tickets and coming out and hanging out with us for Nerd Prom. Nerd Prom is always a good time. We have a really good lineup of activities and stuff going on for it. But, you know, more than anything, it's just a good excuse to get dressed up, get a little dolled up and come out and hang out. You don't have to, you know, get dressed up if you don't want to, but it's going to be a good time. It always is. So come check us out there. Next week, we'll have this show at the regular time. We have MagFest at the end of the week. That's Thursday through Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have some content. We'll be talking about that. Also, next week's show for weekly, we are going to be talking about CES. Right now, CES is like low-key my favorite time of year. I love electronics and new electronics and seeing what they're doing, and they doing stuff right now. Like, I don't know if you've seen that new LG TV that looked like that thing looks like an aquarium.
The fish tank joint, yeah.
Clear joint with the screen. Nobody needs that. But y'all here doing it. Samsung got the new monitor for gaming that's 3D, but don't require glasses.
I seen that, yep.
It like tracks your eyes. Like, listen, they're doing too much. It's a lot happening. Yeah. So we'll be talking about CES next week. Thriller Park, what's going on Thursday?
Thriller Park Thursday. We're at the finale of Summertime Rendering, and I think Jokes would agree with me. It's criminal that this show doesn't get talked about a lot.
Hey, I don't know how
this show has been great.
It's so wild. It's so wild.
From the beginning to the end. Last week, everybody was crying.
You cried?
I teared up.
All
I teared up.
You like to act like you don't be crying, but you
no. I'll be like sobbing, boo-hoo. But oh yeah, shows and stuff, especially anime. You can give me the tear up. Yeah. Gabby. Oh no, she was.
Oh, she was done. She was done.
Twice. They did it twice in the same episode, and everybody was done. But it's been a really, really fire ride, and we just can't wait to see how it all comes to a close at this point. It was so good. We did an extra episode. Like everybody was like, "Nah, run it. Run one more. We cannot leave it sitting right there." Yeah. So we got 3 instead of 4 next week. 3 episodes this week instead of 4. So yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm with that. Jokes, wrestling stuff coming up.
Oh yes. Saturday is utterly just wrestling out. We have 3 events going on. The normal Collision, TNA returns. We're getting hard to kill.
We're not watching Collision. Just.
Oh, Collision! No, Collision's getting our DVR, unfortunately. And New Japan has an event. So, as a new introduction for Sin to get him in, we are going to do predictions for TNA's Hard to Kill. And Sin is going to be doing some blind picks because for the most of these people, he knows none of the wrestlers on the card. We're going to do that live. Thank you, Sin and Marcus, for finally answering throughout the show. But that is going to be a live show. Yeah. Saturday at 2. Now that we've gotten narrowed out. So typically you don't hear us talking about TNA, but with Impact.
No, that's not appropriate. It's
but
not appropriate.
Impact with Impact now rebranding back to the old TNA. With the new money backing that they have, new championships and all that, I think this is a good time for Sin for you to go ahead, jump in and kind of start learning some of these faces. Some you will be familiar with because they've been on AEW. But we're gonna do something different. I'm gonna do a little something different.
Oh, y'all gonna hate my
all right
because I'm going left.
All right.
Okay, that's perfectly fine.
Pick
But looking
the
forward
dudes
to
with the best draws. That's how you do it.
That's it. Dudes with
That's
the
it.
best
The ones
draws.
with the best draws. Whoever got the best draws, that's your winner. You know what I'm saying? All right, so we're gonna wrap the show up. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us. Jokes, if you get that Beacons link up for everyone. Again, best way to follow us across the board. Check that out. I am working on a way to add a calendar or some sort to Beacons. But that's coming. There's so many things that are happening. We have so much stuff going on throughout the year. We kind of have to do that. Thank you, Andrew. You also have a great rest of the week. Yeah, there's so much that's happening that we just kind of we got to get it all out in front of everybody, so you guys just know what's going on. So I'm working on something with that. Sin, you got a job to do.
Yes, so let's shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dortch, Tyrone Carson, Meticulous Skin, Alex Lee, Ellis Mbe, and Kermit Ferguson. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
Indeed, we do. Thank you very much. I'm gonna take this one out, Jokes. Don't worry about it. I just wanna. Oh man, look. Doctor Who says hit the like button. Definitely do that. Appreciate that. Peace out, KB. Please keep in mind that you cannot increase your value to others by increasing their value to you. With that, we are out. Toodles and loos.
Loading snacks.